Eric Pausini with 9 to 5 Sports. Going to be getting into the top picks and the preview here for the Sanderson Farms Championship. And as you guys can see, I am actually in a new setup right now. Some of the 9 to 5 members know this, but you guys on YouTube do not. I recently moved. That happened last week, so pretty exciting stuff there in the new setup right now. With that, I was able to do some updates to 9to5sports.com, especially for the PGA section, which I'll be showing you guys in this video. I'm very excited for that. But guys, I'm excited. We'll be able to do the live streams on Wednesday once again. I just will be able to do a lot more content now as well. So I'm excited to get that out to you guys, and I'm excited to show you guys these updates. And they're updates that obviously I'll continue to, do an update, but aesthetically wise, it'll be fun. Let's get into it. I'll show you guys kind of the updates that I made on the website. So here we go. So here's just the cheat sheet, kind of a simple adjustments here. Is what you guys had always seen. Still have the lineup tool, kind of the same thing that you guys are used to, especially if you're members. Lineup tool, pretty simple. You click on a player, whatever. You can see what your 6 for 6. Chances are you can see what your lineup projection is, all that good stuff. Then we get into the custom models. So now this is a new update to the page here. So custom model is nice because one, you can sort by whichever data you guys want. So I'll show you guys. I already kind of have it preset to what I think, what the data is telling us are going to be the key stats for this week. And we'll get back into this page. I'll show you guys the tournament sheet here. This is going to be kind of for the preview as well. So this is going to take a little bit to load just because there's a shit ton of data I'm filtering through here. So, not too bad there. 3 seconds. So I already have a preset to the Sanderson Farms. We can select whichever tournament that we want. So I have it set for this tournament already. So what can we see based off of the course history here? So we can see the cut has been -2, -2, -3, -3, or -1, -1, -3, -3. Good to know. Winning score, -19, -21, -18, -19. So most likely the winning score is going to be like right around 19 under par, and the cut line is going to be right around 2 under par. Okay, so we know that. We can factor that into some of the research that we're already doing with the data. We can see John Fout course design, Bermuda fairways, fairway length, 28th, and that's a data point that you guys can sort off of if you guys want to. Fairway length, I mean, it's good to have. Why not? We can see greens are Bermuda greens. Green size, another thing that you guys can filter by now as well. We can see green speeds, 13 on the stimp meter. Good to know. Rough acreage. This is kind of an interesting one as well. You can see just based off of the course, is there more trouble, less trouble? We got that here as well. We can see rough length kind of shorter as well, only at 2. And then bunkers, 56. Water hazards in play, 5, with 7 water hazards total. So all interesting stuff there, but the big takeaway here is getting into what all this information can tell us pretty much, okay? So just sorting it by Sanderson Farms, we can see what are the key stats. And I got separated red, yellow, green, and blue. Okay, so red, players that missed the cut. We can really see why a player might have missed the cut. And I broke it down by the most key stats. The stats that we use each and every week. Or not each and every week, but the stats that we use the most. Take out those fluff stats. These are the stats that you guys should be using, that we'll be using. So we can see, possibly players that struggled, Brady or better percentage. Wasn't that good. They didn't do well there. They ranked 90th in that. Their average rank was 90th that. Good to know. Where players that made the cut, 37th. That's a big distinction there, okay? So that's maybe a point that we'll be looking at. Let's see. Are any other ones that really stick out? Ball striking. Ball striking, 81st. The average rank of players that missed the cut, 81st. Where players that made the cut, 49th. Players that won, 26th. So we can see just a separation point here as well, just looking at those numbers. So you can see stroke gain approach really standing out. We can see ball striking really standing out. We can see par 4 scoring, which is always going to be kind of a key stat. But par 5 scoring as well, that is a really big key stat. So far we see par 5 scoring for sure. I mean, that's a huge one. We can see ball striking. strokes gained approach, and then birdie or better percentage. Those are going to be like the top 4 key stats that we're looking at. Okay, guys? So what we could do then, if you guys wanted to, go back into the custom model, and we're going to plug in those ones. So I already got that preset. I did include strokes gained total, strokes gained tee to green. And then let's do, what was the other one? There's one other one, birdie or better percentage. So this is a simple, easy way for you guys to do this. So we got the recent form in there, that's place. And then so you can kind of see these are the players that would be standing out kind of the most in the stat sheet, just plainly looking at it. Boom. Will Zalatoris, Nick Hardy, Emiliano Grillo, Gary Woodland, Sanjay M. All good stuff there. But we're still going to stick to kind of the cheat sheet. That's the thing that we're always going to stick to. And then just kind of going over the key terminology and whatnot. Some of you guys probably wonder what I'm talking about sometimes when we get into the terminology. So have it all broken down here for you guys on the website as well. Once again, this is all included in your $10 membership. You know, I take a lot of pride in the value that 9 to 5 gives the DFS community. $10 a month for all these tools. I really pride myself on that, and I hope you guys enjoy that as well. But let's get into what you guys all came here for. Let's get into the top picks for this week at the Sanderson Farms Championship. Some of you guys might have seen it here on the marker board as well, but we'll get into some of the plays here. So starting off, we're going to show you guys another update here if it pulls up. Sanjay M. Okay, so this is another update. We got the hover update here for you guys. Just made it more aesthetically pleasing and included some more data in there for you guys. So we'll just look at it. Sanjay M, 8 straight make cuts in a row, and they've been good finishes. 20th, 3rd, 16th, 24th, 46th, 47th. So we like that as well. So at this tournament, he's finished 2nd, 28th, and 100th. Okay, where has he struggled at this tournament? Well, he struggled year 1 with the strokes gained approach, but has gotten better each year. We like to see that. Same thing with strokes gained around the green. We like to see that. Strokes gained total, obviously, that was pretty good. But yeah, each year he's gotten better at this tournament, which is something that I like to see. We can kind of see that with his stats as well. Just looking at his recent form, has gotten better as well. So Sanjay M is another pick that I really like this week. Then Mito Pereira, I probably butchered that. I do like him. 9.9 is a tough price point for him, but he's been playing really well. Just been kind of a stud besides the one-off miscut that he had at the end of the season last year. I think he was just looking forward, looking ahead to this season, and we saw that. He came out firing last week, or 2 weeks ago, I guess, at the Fortnite Championship, 3rd place finish. I really like him as a pick this week. Now we get into someone that, you know, it's weird to pay up for him at this price point, but we got Cameron Tringale here, guys. So Cameron Tringale is a pick that I do like. So he's made 3 straight cuts at this tournament. You know, we'll take that. 5 straight make cuts on tour. We just look at why he might struggle, though, which I'm showing you guys another update here. Below, we got sorted by strokes gained total, strokes gained tee to green, kind of focusing off the tee mostly, but tee to green, fairway, and whatnot. We got strokes gained putting, obviously looking at the green stats. So we can see putting might be the issue here with Cameron Tringale. Solid putter overall, ranking top 30 in events, but here, in the key characteristics of this tournament, he does kind of struggle. Strokes gained putting on this green type, 57th of a rank. Strokes gained putting on this green type, you know, that could lead to some 3 putts and whatnot. 56 in that, so not that good as well. And then green speeds, he really struggles with these green speeds as well. So just something to look at, some more information for you. All this data says that he might struggle, but I actually don't mind him, guys. I think he's going to be able to make the cut. Overall, ranks out top 12 in the 9 to 5 model this week, as we can see. 9th best recent form out of anyone in the field. Top 22 course history, top 22 staff hit. So yeah, I like him as well as a pick. And then that's kind of it. You know, those 3, I do really like Sam Burns. If you guys can afford to pay up for him, I do think that you should do that. I'm perfectly fine with that. Now we move down into that mid-tier price point range. So Seamus Power is a player that a lot of 9 to 5 Nation knows that I was on a lot last year. Of course, he ended up winning the Barbasol Championship, the 1 week where no one was really paying attention, although I did have him as an outright bet that week, which was pretty awesome. I think that's what it was. I don't think DraftKings had a contest out for it, but like 3 out of my, I think it was 5 players on the betting card that week had a chance to win, and obviously Seamus Power came through for us. But look at Seamus Power here, guys. He could have easily been priced like $500 more. 2 top 20 finishes here at this tournament. Really just been a stud as well. He had some of the best recent form out of anyone on tour. actually has the best recent form out of anyone in this tournament. I really like him as a pick this week. He's another guy where, yes, if we are going to dive down a little bit more and look at those other stats, I consider these kind of fluff stats a little bit. You know, this is where we're kind of getting nitpicky. But if he does struggle, we could come back to these stats on the bottom there and say, hey, you know, he does struggle a little bit more on courses, on this course characteristics, although I think he's going to do well. Now moving down a little bit lower, and let me look at my big board here to see who else I got up there. Oh, that's right. Chris Kirk. But we'll start with Aaron Wise, because I know I have him. All right, there we go. We'll get Aaron Wise pulled up here for you guys. Sorry about that. So Aaron Wise, 3 straight made cuts at this tournament, a 39th, a 25th, a 17th place finish. We'd love to see that from him. 3 straight made cuts on tour. Like to see that as well. We can see he's a guy where the fluff stats, if you will, actually kind of suggest that he might have a better tournament this week, because based on the course characteristics, he typically plays better on those course characteristics that we're looking at. We can see based off of just the overall general projection for Aaron Wise this week. He ranks out as a top 20 pick in the 9-5 model this week, so we obviously like to see that as well. Now we're going to go down a little bit lower. I thought Chris Kirk is a low tier play. I apologize for that. We'll get into Gary Woodland, because he was the only other one in this price point range that I could kind of see as an okay play. Not someone I want to go crazy with this week, but Gary Woodland kind of casually popping up for me. So obviously there's not going to be any recent form that we're chasing here with Gary. We know that. Hasn't had a start here in the last 4 years. Probably playing in this tournament because, well, he kind of has to after a poor year last year. But we can see, just looking at the deep dive stats, fluff stats, whatever, this could be a good course for him. So strokes gained total. Doesn't have any starts with this course designer. That's fine. But course length does play a little bit better. Average finish or average rank of 41st. Course style, 44th. Course type, 48th, which is all better than his normal strokes gained total rank, which is 55th. We look at strokes gained tee to green. Everything's better when we're looking at that for him. And then strokes gained putting as well. Everything's better on this course characteristic. So yeah, it wouldn't be too shocking to see Gary Woodland go out and play well. Although, man, tough price point to play for someone that has been in that poor of recent form. So I could see why you guys would possibly want to fade him. Now we're going to get into Chez Reavie. I kind of thought this price point was very strange for Chez Reavie. I don't know about you guys, but to me it was. Now, he did have a miscut there at the Wyndham Championship, but before that, had been playing some great golf, coming off of 2 straight top 32 finishes, which that's good enough, especially in this quality of field. You could probably get a top 25 finish out of him at this price point. We'll definitely take that. Overall, he does rank out as a top 25 pick in the 9-5 mile this week. He's a player that I really do like. Then another player that is ranking out top 30 in the 9-5 mile is going to be Scott Stallings. Scott Stallings has casually been playing some good golf this year. I guess over the past 6 months, I should say. 6th place finish there at the Fortinet Championship. Now, he did miss 2 tournaments leading up to the playoffs. Whatever, I'm fine with that. But before that, 39th, 55th, 25th. He is a guy that had been playing better. 3 straight make cuts at this tournament. He's a player that I like. Just at this price point, it's a good price point. He also does play a little bit better in terms of, course characteristics, stats that we're looking at this week. Now we get into Chris Kirk. So why do I like Chris Kirk? 3 straight make cuts in a row, 2 out of 3 make cuts at this tournament. We can see, playing better as of recent. He did show us that upside at the Rocket Mortgage Classic. Doesn't rank out all too well in the 9-5 mile this week, though. That's kind of the worry. Only a 52% chance to make the cut. That's going to be the worry with Chris Kirk. My light's going on me here, guys. I apologize for that. Let's open up the blinds. Get that natural light going, and then we're back at it. Apologize for that. It's a new setup. Still getting things working, the kinks worked out here. But a player that I kind of don't get with price point wise is going to be Scott Piercy, guys. Scott Piercy has really been on a tear as of recent. 11th, 64th, 15th, 71st, 69th place finish. Like to see that. 5 straight make cuts in a row on tour. Did make the cut at this tournament last year. He's a guy that at this price point, I'm definitely willing to take the risk. Just not a bad price point play at 6.4 or or a 7.4, that is something that highly interests me this week. And now just getting down to the value plays. There weren't much that, kind of caught my eye, if you will. Some decent ones like Chad Ramey, I don't mind. He did miss the cut last week, but we can kind of see just looking at the stats why he missed the cut. And I'll pull those up. Give it a second here to load fully. So we can see it here, guys. Played at this tournament in 2019. Cool. Played well there. Nice to see that. 26th place finish there last week. Top 10 in strokes gained to the green. Top 10 in strokes gained approach. Third in strokes gained around the green. 139th in strokes gained putting, guys. That is kind of crazy for a guy that putted that poorly. Okay. I don't see him putting that poorly again. Typically putting is one of those stats that will regress back the other way after a horrible week. So possibly that could be something that goes his way this week. And that's kind of cheating because he's a 7K play, not technically a value. Let's go a little bit lower here. So Adam Schenk. Adam Schenk is a very interesting play. Ranks out top 20 in the 9-to-5 model this week. Good course history, 32nd, 36th, 7th, 43rd place finish. Love to see that. Top 20 in recent form. Course history rank. Could be a little bit better stat fit as a whole, but grades out of some of that should make the cut, and I kind of expect him to. 54% chance to make the cut at 6.7. That is something that does intrigue me. So chances are he is going to make the cut. And then John Augustine. John Augustine is really popping because, well, he played well last week. Third place finish, and that's really all the data that we have on him for John Augustine there. But I'm kind of willing to take the risk on a player like that with John Augustine. Really just played well last week, and that's something that at 6.7 we can take that price point risk with. And then just going down a little bit lower, there was one other player that kind of stood out to me, just given their price point. See if I can find him. It's Michael Glick. I thought it was 6.4, but I'm not seeing it just yet. Was he cheaper than that? He was 6.2 for Michael Glick. Wow. So 5 straight make cuts in a row on tour. Ranks out as a guy that's 35th in the 9-to-5 mile this week. Has a 49% chance to make the cut, which at this deep of a price point, that is pretty good. He's made a cut and missed a cut at this tournament, so definitely an intriguing play to me. But that's all I have for you guys this week. I know the video ran a little bit longer than it typically would. I apologize for that. With showing off all the new tools, I'm excited for that. Excited to get that out to you guys. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a like and subscribe. If you guys want to join 9-to-5 Nation, click the link in the description. $10 a month. Best value in PGA DFS. All right, that's all I have for you guys. And as always, let's keep cashing.